Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into protective intelligence, basically looking at how security pros predict attacks on high-profile people.
Yeah, and specifically how they use open source information, OSINT, all that public data floating around.
Right. Turning that, massive amount of noise into actual disciplined action. The goal, as our sources put it, is staying left of boom.
Left of boom is crucial. It means stopping the threat way before the incident, the boom actually occurs. And the fascinating part is targeting is often very predictable.
Predictable? How so?
Well, it follows a pretty straightforward cycle. You plan, you collect info, process it, analyze it, and then you act.
Okay.
And the bedrock of this whole thing, recognizing that the initial planning almost always starts out in the open, using that OSINT we mentioned.
So things like social media posts, event schedules.
Exactly. Social media, appearances, property filings, even like vendor delivery trails, stuff that seems mundane.
Okay, so you gather all this public data. How do you turn that pile of information into something useful, like a map of the risk? What are you actually looking for?
You're essentially building a map of the target's pattern of life. You identify intersections, time windows for travel, predictable routes they take, key staff members, the venues they frequent.
Right, mapping the routine.
Once you have that sort of digital map, you look for the physical weak spots. We call them choke points.
Choke points, like bottlenecks?
Sort of, yeah. Places where access naturally funnels. Think about a building lobby everyone uses, or a specific spot where cars always do curbside pickup.
Okay.
Even something subtle, like the background consistently visible in someone's Zoom calls if it gives away a location.
That digital footprint leading to a real-world vulnerability. That's where the danger really crystallizes, isn't it?
Precisely. And the targets, as you'd expect, are often executives, officials, maybe journalists, scientists.
But the sources stress the impact goes way beyond just that one person.
Oh, absolutely. The secondary impact can hit harder and faster these days. We're talking families, assistants, the entire organization sometimes.
And it's not just physical harm anymore.
Not at all. Doxing is huge now. Extortion attempts, serious reputational damage. Even just disrupting operations can cripple a business, even if no one gets physically hurt.
That sounds overwhelming. If every little decision, like where you eat dinner or what flight you book, adds risk, how do security teams even prioritize? Where do you start fixing things?
That's where a formal risk scoring model is essential. Professionals use a simple, repeatable lens. It goes by a few names, but it usually boils down to maybe 5 things.
Okay, what are they?
Criticality, how important is the target? Accessibility, how easy is it to get to them? Vulnerability, how weak is this specific point? Effect, what's the damage if it's exploited? And recognizability, how easily can they be spotted?
Let's unpack effect and recognizability a bit. Those seem really key.
Sure. Effect is just forecasting the fallout. If this vulnerability gets hit, how bad is it? Severe, minor. Recognizability is simply how easily the target stands out.
So like driving a flashy car versus a generic one.
Exactly. High-profile person in a common sedan. Low recognizability. Same person in a bright yellow sports car with vanity plates. Very high recognizability, and that drastically bumps up the risk score.
Got it. Now, the sources also mentioned the threats themselves are changing, kind of blurring together.
Yeah, that's a major trend. Ideological actors, organized crime, even state-sponsored groups. The lines are getting really blurry. They might use similar tactics or even collaborate.
Why is that happening now?
Well, partly because the tools and knowledge are easier to get. You can find massive data breaches online, location tracking tools, detailed tactical guides. It's all out there.
Which boosts their capabilities.
Right. And it leads to what some call cross-domain playbooks. This is important. It means cyber actions like phishing or using leaked location data are directly supporting physical actions like surveillance or an in-person approach. They aren't separate worlds anymore.
So with threats blending and capabilities rising, hardening the target's routine becomes absolutely vital. What are the main strategies for that?
The core goal is to break the pattern the attacker is relying on. 3 main things come up consistently. 1, reduce accessibility. Control who gets in, vary your routes, avoid predictable public spots.
Makes sense.
2, cut recognizability. This is where people often slip up. You've got to meet the vanity signals, ditch the personalized license plates, stop the daily branded food deliveries to your house, sanitize online oversharing.
Get rid of the easy identifiers.
Exactly. And 3, add unpredictability. Vary your timings, your locations, your patterns. If you always leave at 8 a.m. on Tuesdays via the same route, you're making it too easy.
And this can't just be a reactive thing, right? It needs structure within the organization.
Oh, absolutely. You need to formalize it. Have a dedicated place for threat intake, clear rules on when to escalate something, and crucially, get security, HR, legal, comms, all on the same page.
And know who makes the call.
Precisely. Name the escalation authority beforehand. So when a threat hits that trigger level, the response is fast and coordinated. No scrambling.
So wrapping this up for our listeners,
Mhm.
what we've seen is that this kind of targeting risk, while scary, is actually predictable and it's manageable.
It is, but only if you treat that OSINT, that public data, seriously. Not just background noise, but as intel that needs disciplined action. You build a security baseline and you keep it updated.
So what's the final thought you want to leave people with, that key takeaway?
Watch for the early warning lights, they always flash. Be alert for spikes in doxing targeting someone or strange rehearsal like visits near their home or workplace, or maybe when online harassment suddenly seems like it's about to jump offline into the real world.
That shift from digital chatter to physical action.
That's the critical moment. That's the early warning you absolutely need to catch. It tells you the threat is getting serious.